stand up and say, I got 2 questions. They keep their fingers close like it's going to look like one, you know. What's the deal here? Trying to psych me out? I love black people. It's something else. Yeah. I didn't mean to do that. That's all right. What was your quick question?
No, eczema.
Oh, eczema. Yeah, eczema. Yeah. Name that the SEMA. Zema was a. Oh, that's a sidebar. Yeah, that's a sidebar. Yeah, that's a sidebar. Yeah, that's a. Basically, the body is cleansing through the skin. That's all eczema, psoriasis, chickenpox, all you want to call this stuff. Measles is the body having a bowel movement through the skin. So what we're trying to do is get rid of the waste so the body won't resort to the skin to get rid of the waste. So I'm back to the same thing. Are you having regular bowel movements? Are you drinking water? Are you eating fresh fruits and vegetables? Because the food is the medicine, and the medicine is the food. So I'm always going to drive back to this diet thing. But in helping someone, if you don't get rid of their symptoms, they ain't going to listen to you. If somebody has a pain in their head and you explain and change your diet, they ain't going to listen to you. You got to get rid of the pain of their head, and then they'll listen to you. That's why I go into the symptom thing where I say take this, take that, because I want the person to hear what I'm saying. And you can't hear if you got to hear through pain. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult. So I get rid of the pain, and then I talk to the person. So chickweed will help the situation. It's used mostly for measles. And they do have eczema cream and eczema salve in the health food store. It will say eczema and psoriasis right on the label, and it's already put together. Eczema cream, eczema salve, already put together. But we're back to some issues here, like cheese and milk. That will really do it, because there's so much stuff in the milk is ridiculous. Aside from sugar, aside from, they put fish oil in milk. I don't know if you know that. That's how they make vitamin D-enriched milk. They use fish oil. And I've never seen a fish swim in milk in my life. But white people put things together, don't go together. So I'm talking about the milk itself can cause this kind of reaction, as well as eggs, because they're mostly made without the chicken having sex. They like put chemicals in the chicken to make them have egg, and those eggs will never produce another chicken. But so you got to look at the diet and all that sort of rut that goes in, and anytime the person gets acid, the eczema will get worse. So they have to keep that system alkaline, maybe with some fennel, or you can eat the potato off the skin off a potato. I was told not to say potato. I was told to say patata, whatever. Somebody was teaching me how to talk like a Negro earlier today. See, I went to school in a foreign country, and so I had to break down words to understand them. And it's kind of spilling over into me talking to you. I had to break down words. Like, sometimes I say pro-blame, because the word blame comes from blemish, and you're toward a blemish. So you say pro-blemish, and the word is contracted to mean pro-blame. So the only way I could figure out this foreign language is break down words. So sometimes I talk broken down. It's not that I think you ignorant. It's just that it's just something that happens. I've been damaged by being around white people. That's what I'm trying to say. I've been damaged. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's what it is. Vic Gregory told me, if something happened to you, white man did it. He said, you wake up late in the morning, white man did it. We were there on a radio show. He said, I blame everything on white people. That's what he said. I used to tell him we've been talking to each other like 30 years, and I used to tell him all that. He thought I was too militant. Now he's saying all this stuff. It's funny. Yeah, I blame everything on him. If I get short, if somebody beat me at the traffic light, I blame it on him. No, I'm teasing. But you can try that. And remember, don't try to save somebody more than they're trying to save themselves, because that'll wear you out. That will wear you out. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Doctor, when you mentioned about your ankh,
yeah,
it brought up question in my mind concerning the crystals. We know that crystals were being used we see the crystals in the caves and the tombs in Egypt. Mm-hmm. Crystals have been used for since the eons of time in terms of us being melanated people.
Oh, yeah.
And relating that the crystals to, but since we are crystals ourselves in terms of the melanin, I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that and see if we could use that as part of the healing equation in terms of using the crystals.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You're talking about crystals, which we would consider alive. They're like fossilized plants, and they have the energy of other plants. They, like you call coal. Those are once trees, and there's crystallized plants. A lot of the crystals are ancient plants that have been turned into crystallized forms. But I have a larger breakdown of crystal therapy in my book, African Holistic Health. I'm not going to get into all of it. It's in the book where I tell you which crystal to use for this and this and that. The one I use the most is the Obsidian Crystal, which I use for like healing the uterus and fibroid tumors. It's mostly Obsidian Crystal that I use a lot of these days. I'm mostly into treatment stuff. But we use crystals for various levels of thinking and spirituality. And they had crystal shields, like the shield that David used in the Bible. Was programmed with crystals. And this the wonderful uses they have. But I get more in depth in my book, African Holistic Health. A lot of times I don't talk about some subjects in mixed audience because they figure I'm talking about the devil, I have to test my audience because sometimes I talk about astrology and some people think that's devil worshiping. So you got to kind of test your audience before you open your mouth because you don't want people to shut down before you can get the information in. So a lot of things I don't, like talk about, but I can talk about them privately, I scare the hell out of you if I talk privately. But it's part of like talking to people. You got to size them up and figure out where they are. Because sometimes y'all don't listen to what I say, and I got to go to my amen corner over there. They back up everything I say. I can say, they're shaking their head. And I go over there to get y'all moving. I just play one against the other, you know what I mean? You got to know all that stuff. I was in theater before I set up here. I used to play in back of like a Red Fox and Moms. Maybe y'all don't know these people, don't you? Maybe y'all know Aretha Franklin. Yeah, and her sister. They used to sing together. And Dionne Warwick used to sing with her sister. I'm sorry I brought it in. But anyway, I used to be in theater and all that. And when I was working with a guy like Smokey Robinson, Smokey Robinson, and these guys would get together backstage, and they would bet how many women they could make faint. Yeah, they used to do that, and they used to have bets and stuff like that. And Billie Holiday would bet how many people she could make cry. And we were just backstage, and they were just just stuff you did. And they taught me how to talk to an audience. That's what they taught me in theater: how to talk to an audience, how to be with you. Talking to an audience is being with the audience and being part of the audience. And I'm with you, and I try to let you feel that I'm with you in this struggle. And I don't know everything, and I wouldn't want to know everything. I wouldn't want to be burdened with that kind of responsibility. If you took the rest of your life and stopped reading right now, you wouldn't be able to use all the information you've accumulated right now. All I'm doing is using information I don't want to know anymore. I'm trying to use what I already know. Just stop what you're reading now and try to use the information you learned. You wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? So you just try to digest the little that you know, because it's enough. It really is enough. You're just not using it, but it's enough. You say, I'm made by God, and I'm going to eat things made by God. That's enough. You don't want to eat nothing made by a man in a factory. You follow me? Yeah. That's enough. If you know that and put that into practice, you say, no, I ain't going to eat that white rice. Brown rice is made by God, but that white rice, that's made by the white man. You know what I mean? Right away, you're going to stop eating all this stuff. You say, wait a minute, who made that? Like who is Snack, Crackle, and Pop? And then you find out there's a homosexual. Then you get into all that stuff. Yeah, really, because Wrigley's was gay. That's why he always show two women having more fun than one woman. They say, double your pleasure, double your fun. Then you find out that Wrigley's was gay. Then you understand why he showed two women all together happy and 2 men. Yeah, they happy all right. No, see, I went in the sidebar. Eddie, you keep me out of the sidebars, please. Okay, thank you. That was the sidebar.
Talk a little bit about cancer.
Cancer, yeah. Named after a woman, the crab, you know what I mean, the water, because cancer comes under the moon, and the moon is a woman, and of course, if it's evil, it's a woman. So in any case, cancer is measured in my field by how much oxygen a cell retains. If a cell loses 60% of its oxygen, by definition, it's cancerous. Carbon dioxide is the loss of oxygen. When your body is high in carbon dioxide, is low in oxygen. What causes the increase of carbon dioxide is acid. Where there's acid, there's a loss of moisture. There's a loss of vitality. So we're talking about a loss of vitality, the vital essence of a cell. And some people say the cell needs something vital to keep it alive, and we call it a vital mineral, which you call a vitamin. But it's all coming under this biogod, which you call Venus. So in any case, we have to purify the body with blood-cleansing herbs like red clover. Chaparral is very good for cancer. It's called chaparral, which they burnt down the chaparral forest in California. That's what you saw, all those fires in California. That's when they burnt down the chaparral forest. And they said, don't eat chaparral, and it's for external use only, but it's used for cancer. Along with periwinkle, red clover, burdock, echinacea, golden seal. They're very good for cancer and increasing the chlorophyll intake, which will increase the oxygen of the cell. Liquid chlorophyll, things very green, alfalfa, barley green, wheatgrass. Some people can't digest wheatgrass juice, so, you know, they can get the green from alfalfa. All you want is the chlorophyll, essentially. So we're talking about increasing the chlorophyll content. And, of course, there's a spiritual side to this cancer thing as well. It comes from a selfishness. It's usually associated with a high level of selfishness. Like warts are associated with gender confusion and misunderstanding about your sexuality. Warts are associated with that. Fungus infection is associated with obsession with sex. You call that jock rock, yeast infection, all that kind of stuff. Each disease has an emotional component to it and a spiritual component to it. So I just wanted to bring that in. A lot of people don't want to deal with that spiritual thing. They just rather go to church and, you know, hear Jesus will save you and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, he was on the cross. I don't think he saved himself. But that's another issue altogether. I ain't getting on nobody because I was a Jehovah's Witness, you know. I was into that thing deep. I used to go knock on people's doors and know they were going to burn in hell when they slammed the door in my face. I was a dedicated Jehovah's Witnesses, and I went to Mecca. I've done Hajj. I've done all those things. You know what I mean? But I found out God's in you. You know, that's about it. But I ain't trying to be no preacher because then I may want to pass the plate. Y'all don't want me to go there. Hey, John, I got more books in that bag because I don't know if all them books weren't for all these Negroes. I mean, y'all are blessed. Yeah, another question.
Hello, doctor.
Hi.
Hi. I'm a diabetic, and I feel as though my sex drive is not the way it used to be.
That's correct.
Diabetic. What would you recommend me to take to build it back up again?
Okay. You're going to need get a prenatal multivitamin and mineral, first of all. Get that, because it's going to have extra everything in it. And the zinc, and you need manganese, because sugar will pull the manganese out. Not magnesium, M-A-N, ganese. You need that. And if you just want to kick it into gear without all that problem, get some testosterone gel and wild yam cream. Wild yam cream and testosterone gel. They have it in the health food store. But just make sure you have a boyfriend or husband. Because you can be attracted to some ugly people, you know. They're going to start looking good to you, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm telling you. Sure. Yeah, that'll get you jump-started. But sugar causes infertility and causes the loss of sex drive. That goes with the sugar. It also goes with high blood pressure. It shuts down the whole system. It's a natural response for it. Usually when that infertility thing happens with men, that's when we get hypersex, because we're not sure whether we'll have erection the next minute. So we try to do as much as we can with the thing while it lasts. So we get into a hypersex kind of thing where we're just screwing everything that has a hole, a door, key, doesn't matter. Because we're afraid the erection may look gone any moment. So one more?
We're coming down to the wire, and I think we have 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4 more questions, and doctor's been going straight. We didn't even stop to take a rest, so we're going to just take the first, second.
Okay, one. Okay, we'll start here. One more. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. quickly.
I'd like to ask you about a green drink. What is very good medicinally for you to just drink that has what you think you should have each day?
Well, you're looking at about an alfalfa, some horsetail, you're looking at dandelion root for the iron. Dandelion root and alfalfa would be nice combinations, and shave grass. Shave, like you shave yourself. Okay. Shave grass, alfalfa, and dandelion root. That would be a nice kind of mixture to add to any tea that you are drinking. Yeah, that will give you stuff like that. Yeah.
Something like this, like you drink water, you would add this like tea.
Yeah. Yeah, just try to drink that combination. Yeah. Oh, one more over here and. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you share some information on muscular dystrophy?
Muscular dystrophy. That's a nerve damage. Nerve damage is caused by primarily sugar. White sugar, which pulls the moisture out of the nerves and causes the nerve to splay as we call it. So we're looking at concentrated sweeteners or things that turn to sugar quickly, which would be white potatoes, potato chips, french fries, pizza, garbage, stuff like that. But just to get in a healing kind of thing, you're looking at lipoic acid, glutamine, glucosamine chondroitin with MSM. Those things will help get you out of that kind of, to move the system. But again, you can write down your address and all that stuff, write multiple, and I'll send you the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not trying to lose anyone. Hi, how you doing? It's nice to visit
Afrika.
me.
Could you give me some examples of how to get a small child to drink water? Like 2 years old?
You're going to have to do a little con game there, my sister. You can dilute the juices. That's the easiest way. Dilute the juices or make a tea that they like. And sneak it in that way, because tap water tastes terrible. It has off flavors in them. Yeah, I know, but the other kids don't drink water. So they are influenced by their peers. And water is not popular with children, I'm sorry to say. They drink more soda than water in this country. Children do. That's been documented. So I'm saying let's sneak the water in by putting it in the juice and the tea and gradually increase the water, decrease the juice. You see what I'm saying? And they'll slip into it easier from diluted juices than going straight juice to water. Yeah, usually that's the way. And I have a tape on nutrition for children, teach you all the tricks, how to disguise stuff, yeah. Last question.
Dr. Afrika, I appreciate all the information that you've brought forth this evening,
Thank you.
particularly the historical information that you have intersposed throughout your lecture. Other than the materials that you have authored, what would you recommend that a person interested in getting more information read? What is your reading recommendation?
Obtaining more information about disease, about history, about what?
About history and the information that you've injected in your lecture this evening.
Well, I have a whole history thing in my book.
Okay.
Actually, I go through a whole history of food and herbs in African holistic health, and I have a history tape on the whole thing as well. And I do a history piece in all my books. In Nutricide, I go through the history of the European diet to break it down. But well, you're on point. You're there, my sister. You're there.
Did you enjoy Dr. Afrika? Yes.